Good morning. It's about 10:15 a.m. near San Marcos, Texas. That's just in between Austin and San Antonio. I just made a delivery of styrofoam, one of my least favorite loads so far. It was I think it was more the shrink wrap that was irritating. And it looked pretty messy. I kept trying to clean it up and make sure it wasn't bothering anyone, but made it came out of Florida, so it's about 1,000 miles. It came out of the middle of Florida, but I'm just delivered that, and I'm waiting for my next load. I'll probably give it a little bit more time to see if they get me a load pretty soon, and then maybe move to a truck stop if not. But try to take a spin around the truck, show just to turn the camera around. There's not much going on, but talk about a little bit about what has been going on. It's been a while since I've made a video, so try to remember at least some of the things that have happened recently. So right out my front windshield is a trailer. It doesn't have a cab in front, so somebody dropped this trailer here. So it's not a great view, is it? But I think that's the interstate. That's 35 down there across the frontage road over there. And this is the building. You can see somebody up on top of the roof where they're doing some sort of construction project. And this guy. But this kind of cul-de-sac is where it came down front. My both my navigation systems pointed me down this road at first, but the delivery is actually on the other side of this building, so I had to negotiate that. But then I came out here. I still had a little bit of a mess. I came over here to clean up, put my bulkhead back where it needed to be, and had some things to still put away because I was trying to get out of the way of everybody else that was trying to unload over there on the other side of the building. And I knew that because I had come over here before, I knew this was a nice, comfortable place to sit for a few minutes and do my paperwork and get everything done. And so it's a nice empty trailer. Give a view of what's going on. It's a little bit windy, so I don't know if the mic usually does pretty good about that. And I did on this well, it wasn't a home time. Because this load it was delivering a Monday and came out of Florida. What day did I pick it up on? I think it was Friday I picked it up. And it was like 1,000 miles I had to do. So I did a couple hundred that out of Florida. I had trouble finding a spot to park that night. I tried a couple of different. I wanted to do a rest area. I didn't want to pay for parking at one of the places with reserved parking. So I might have found something if I looked at all of the options, but I was just looking at rest areas for a little while, and then I started getting towards the end of my clock around 10:30. Eventually ended up at a Pilot, I believe, and actually still found some spots that were not reserved, so got that, and woke up the next morning to some guys parked up real close. They were like parked in the curb in front of me, which made it sketchy pulling out, so that wasn't great. But got out of that, and then, but anyway, the way the load worked out, did a full day of driving on Saturday, then only had a few 100 miles to do on Sunday. Got up early, did those, and then I had already let my parents know because they live in San Antonio that I was going to be close. The truck stop I was going to stop at was going to be an hour from them, and they offered to come pick me up. And so I stayed at their place Sunday night, visited with them, took a walk around their neighborhood. They have like a trails next with like a park and stuff next to it, which is real nice. Real comfortable weather, pretty similar to what's going on right now. Got to visit with them. My brother came over and his wife, and so got a nice little visit in. And then got up this morning. My dad drove me, well, Mom rode too, to help him navigate and I guess see me off. But they dropped me off at the truck stop in time to so I could start it up, do my inspection, and roll up here on time, which all worked out. So got a little bit of a visit in, and I sent a few things to their house to pick up. I sent razor blades because I had started to run out, and then some hardware. I'm going to try that tray in the back of the truck. I'm going to try to rig up something that lets me have attachment points. So I have some like eye bolts that I'm going to try to fit through the drainage ports underneath the tray. See if I can get me some securement points for a strap, so I can secure some things up there, because it's kind of a useless space to me if I can't secure stuff to it. See how that goes. I've got a bunch of extra nuts and washers and stuff to see if I can make that work. That'll be a project probably for the next sometime when I get into a truck stop, maybe tonight, who knows. But I want to try to get that done, because the biggest problem or the issue I'm trying to solve is when the tarps get cold and snowy, I have a trouble rolling them up as tight as I normally do, and then they take up most of the box space where they're supposed to go, so I can't fit the edge protectors in as well. And I had just like thrown them in the side in the passenger seat, but I don't want to keep doing that. They can be a mess, and yeah, it's just bad. So I want to find a way to secure it out there if I need to. And I've been, I guess that's one of the big things I need to talk about from the recent past, is I have been dodging the bad weather so hard. Like, it's been crazy. It's so super comfortable right now. It's like probably 40s or 50s, sunny, nice. And I've been just scooting back and forth on Interstate 10 a bunch. Last couple loads have been just pretty much going back and forth. With like, I forget exactly the whole routine, but I think it was down like Panama City, Florida, to like, I forget where I went. It was like north of Houston, I think. North of Houston, and then back to like South Georgia, and then I picked up out of the middle of Florida, then came back, and all this time there's been these two winter storms came through and put a bunch of snow up in the like Dallas got some snow, I think, and pretty much everywhere north of that. There's still a lot of cold air now. Some places getting pretty cold, but I don't think any moisture's on the way. Well, there obviously there'll always be eventually, but none like on this in super close proximity. So yeah, I've been happy to dodge the weather for a little bit. Came out of, I guess it was crazy because I came down here from the last load I picked up was I think it came out of Indiana because I broke down. I had some engine lights come on. I had to wait over the weekend, on one weekend, for the shop to open and get that fixed. Fortunately, it was all fixed in one day. It was there was some sort of a recall issue that happened, and they had a couple of different things. They managed to fix it. That was in Indianapolis on the east side, Kenworth, which their lot was pretty treacherous. Moving around in with a trailer. They didn't seem like set up for like OTR trucks to come in. I guess they were hoping people would drop their trailers somewhere else. But moving around that lot was really pretty sketchy with the trailer, and I had to move some cones and stuff in their lot to make it work. And thankful that I've had some experience driving. I feel like I can handle a situation like that, but at the same time, I don't want to have to handle a situation like that. And especially not at, I don't know, I would hope like a dealer would be a safe haven kind of a place, but that's not how it was. And then the load before that was I picked out of Canada. So the load that I had when I had the breakdown, I picked it up out of Canada, real close to Detroit, same place I'd been before, some pipe steel, just over the border. And that was a rough day. I had gotten there at 3. My appointment was 3 something, maybe it was 3 or 3:30, something like that. And they took forever to load me. It seemed like they were loading a truck per hour at this big old place. I can't imagine how they're going that slow. But they were going so slow, and I finally, it was a little bit of inclement weather. It wasn't too bad. I think it was in the 30s or something, 30, 40 degrees, even at night. So it wasn't crazy cold for being in Canada. It was kind of shocked me that it wasn't colder. And then moved to their tarping station. Fortunately, they have lights over there. It was a lot of work to get it all. Had to get it all secured and tarped. And oh yeah, I forgot the plastic. They put plastic on it because it was actually, I guess, yeah, I remember it was actually some. It was raining a bit. It wasn't super hard, but it was raining a bit, so they put plastic on before they let me roll out. But they didn't secure the plastic at all, and so it started blowing away immediately as soon as I left. And so I had to put some weights on it and throw some extra straps to try to hold it down while I moved over. It was just a mess. That was unnecessary. And then pulled it over to the tarping station, got to work on it. So it was a little bit cold, miserable, and they're right outside the tarping station. It's a bunch of mud, so your boots are all muddy. It's concrete mud too. It's pretty nasty. And then so the mud got tracked in the truck a little bit. I have since swept up, get most of it out. And so yeah, it was a rough day, and then ended up crossing the border back at close to 11:30, I think it was. And then finally found a truck stop, and then the next day had that engine light, or it were two different engine lights, and I didn't, Like one of them looked like might be serious. I didn't really know. And so I had to pull over and call. And they told me that needed to go to a dealer, and so I lost that load. So it was a little irritating that I did all that work, and it was a load going to Houston, so it would have been like a 1,000 mile, more than 1,000 miles, and that was sounding good to me, but I ended up losing it. Somebody came traded that load, but the nice thing I got out of that was nice tarps. The guy, he was a little irritated. He had to give me his tarps. They're in better condition than I've seen most of the tarps I've seen so far. So I'm trying to keep them that way. But I've lost most of my stuff, that like edge protectors, and he got my last like I had some old tarp material from Laredo, some cut up pieces of tarp that I pulled out of the bin that they have. So I don't have any of those anymore. I'm running low on tarp protection materials. I've lost all. Used to have these like corner protector things. Lost all those to repowers. Whenever I say lost, I mean traded to somebody taking my trailer, and they didn't have stuff to give me back. So yeah, I'll do what I can to try to keep them as nice as I can for as long as I can. And then what else? Oh yeah, I've started doing. I joined the Peterson Academy. They had a special over the holidays, so it made it more affordable. I think it was like $800 for 2 years or something like that. So I'll have to see if it feels worth it, but I feel like I could afford it, and I felt like it'd be good to support them, that what they're doing there, and I wanted to see what kind of people were there. I thought I was interested in seeing what kind of people I could meet. And so far, I'm a little disappointed in the social, just the mechanics of it on the site. It's just like a scrolling feed, which I think is kind of not really conducive to the, like, I don't know, meaningful connections in the way. It's more like based around. It's a bad attention economy, I think. I don't think it's great for what we're trying to do, but still managing to have some good interactions anyways, despite being the suboptimal format. There's still some pretty interesting people on there, some people I like interacting with. So far it's been pretty good, and a few of them are a little too much in their head, a little bit less not practical, or it seems a little, I don't know, a little bit of that going on, where they have a lot of ideas that they don't know if they work because they've never tried. But I guess that's kind of expected in an academic environment. And I've seen a lot of like professionals of various type. Not seen a lot of students. I've seen a handful of students, but it's still a little bit expensive, and especially without, they're still working on accreditation. So it makes sense, and I did join a little bit of a discussion group. That's been good. It's met twice so far. Enjoyed both conversations. Had about half a dozen people there. I've been interested in all of them, and would like to know more about them and be better. I'm interested in being friends with all of them so far. So I'll have to work on some of that, try to build some connections. And the courses themselves, I've completed 2, and I'm on the 3rd one. I've been working my way through. The one I started with cosmology. I think it was Brian Keating, if I remember right, and that was. It's an interesting thing. It may just not be my maybe I'm not super interested in it. It was all right, but I can't really. And I have there's I had definitely some thoughts about it, but it's like I don't know. I don't know where to go to get good interaction about it. There are some comments like on underneath the videos, but I couldn't tell if I don't know. It's hard to see where interaction's going on, and it wasn't like the most amazing course I've ever seen, but it wasn't bad. And then I don't know, there's just some little nitpicks here and there, and again it might just be the subject matter. It's just not. I feel like I guess my biggest overall feeling is they're telling me stuff that probably in the next 20, 30, 40 years, whatever, is going to be completely rewritten again. And so, like, I don't know. I'm kind of interested in the overview of what they think they know, but not super enthusiastic about memorizing any of the details or anything, because I kind of feel like a lot of them are going to change anyways. It's still so kind of in flux, it seems like. And then the second course I did was Jordan Peterson's course on the Sermon on the Mount, and that was pretty good too. It's not. I wouldn't say it's an upgrade as far as like. There's a lot of. He has a lot of free material and like obviously on YouTube and stuff that is quite comparable as far as quality goes. So I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess that seems fine. I think that's exactly probably what you should expect. He's not keeping anything back when he's on his his own channel and all his lecture series and all that. He's giving everything he's got. So there were a few things that were like a little bit specific to the Sermon on the Mount and maybe in a different kind of way, but a lot of the same themes, similar themes that you encounter anywhere else, or with whatever other material he covers, he hits on a lot of the same themes. So a lot of it was pretty familiar stuff, or like in some ways it's good to build that familiarity and like see that how it interacts with a new kind of material. So that's good. Not mind blowing, but solid and good. And then the third course though is in fact mind blowing, at least for me. Dr. John Vervaeke. The course is Intelligence, Rationality, Wisdom, Spirituality. It is excellent. And I've only done half of it so far. And I'm going to have to go back. I've already listened to the second one twice. I don't know whether I should keep listening to them, the previous ones over until I get it completely ironed in to my brain, or if I should just do the whole thing. I think I'm going to go through the rest of the thing, get what I can, and go back through, because like there's no chance I'm leaving before I listen to it at least another time, maybe a third, maybe a fourth. I don't know until I bake. It's really like it's what the power of academics should be like. And like I've had I guess a little bit of a disillusionment with the academics and what they produce. Like a lot of it feels very disconnected from reality, and socially mediated, as far as, I don't know, it's like they build their own meta that's not really attached to the world. But this does seem like it's really attached to real experience and experimentation, and they don't seem to be taking it too far. Things that, or at least the way he's laying it out, seems to make sense. And a lot of the things that I've been thinking about, it kind of is in that direction. I feel like I've I've been bushwhacking through, like, making my own trail through, like, understanding what wisdom is and stuff, and then now, being introduced to this is like finding the trail, and like, oh yeah, we've we've made it. I mean, it's not like a full highway. They're still developing it and stuff, but um, somebody's done this work, and he's moving in a similar direction that I was, and he has put a lot of thought into it and a lot of quality thought into it. And so I want to adopt his language and conception of a lot of the words. There's a few little quibbles I have here and there, but for the most part, um, probably integrate the work that he's been doing. I want to integrate it into my thinking, and so I'm just going to basically go back over it a few times at least to really bake it into my brain, really get it ironed in there till I can flow back and forth on the same pathways, using the same language, or at least fully understanding it. And I feel like it's a good I think it's a good foundational kind of a thing. It'll like I said, it has to do with intelligence, rationality, wisdom, and spirituality. Like a lot of, like, how you interact with the world, how you perceive the world, what that means to you. Like, there's a lot of, like, really deep and meaningful and important and foundational kind of aspects of living that it's covering and adjacent to. And there's just, it's really well done. Really, he's really good at his presentation, is excellent. And I'm really looking forward to the next 3 as well. So I mean, this is just off his first 3 of 6 for this particular course. The other 2 courses each had 8 videos in them. So I think it's just it's not like a set amount that they're supposed to fill, which I think is great. They just teach the amount that they think is relevant and required, and they don't have to fill space. They just teach the way that they want to teach. So I think it's good. I'm looking for. I don't think it's reasonable to expect I don't even know, many courses to be this good. I don't know if that's. I expect that this one I'm taking now, to be one of the better ones, maybe the best one. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it is. But yeah, and we keep getting a new lecture. I think every month, at least one. Maybe I don't know if it's more than one, but at least one every month. Something new is added. Like, I think the new one I just saw was Introduction to Biology. So there's a lot there already, and there's lots of interested in. I was thinking about trying to get fully caught up, or like making it a push to do that, but I don't think I'm gonna make that a priority. I'll try to keep a pace that, like, is more, like, do more lectures than are being made, so that eventually I will get caught up. But I want to focus. I think the social aspect and building connections with other people is more important to me right now. So I'm thinking of ways to do that. I've got a couple of threads to follow that I need to do that right now. And then I'm actually considering trying to make some sort of a club. I've been thinking a lot about. So I may do that, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I guess this is already a pretty long video. And it's pretty boring footage. Hopefully I've found something more interesting to play. Hopefully like a time lapse or something. But we'll see. See how it goes. See where we go. I'm interested where I go next. See if I've been happy to skip a little bit of winter, but I know that I can't expect that to last forever. So see how it goes.